Hi guys, I'm going to go ahead and just record myself tracing a simple t-shirt. This is just a screenshot and I'm going to vectorize it right now, and I thought I'd record it and just share tips and tricks. In Illustrator, there's tons of tips and tricks, so I bet a lot of you guys probably have an even better idea, so feel free to share it with me. I love always learning. But anyways, I'm just going to share with you guys how I would trace something like this. So first, I would hit the letter P. I really believe that keyboard shortcuts are a lot quicker than going over to the left and finding your tool. P stands for the pen tool. That's what we'll be using. I think it's best to really look at this as pattern pieces. And I know if I was going to cut this out of fabric, the sleeve would be one pattern piece, the sleeve would be another. We have the front body, and then we have the neck trims as well. There's actually two. So I'm going to start with the front body. And when I look at it, I see it's symmetrical. So it'd probably be smart to only draw half of it and copy and paste it so that it'll stay symmetrical. So with that in mind, I'm going to start up here at the what's called the high point shoulder, and we'll talk more about that in our class actually. I'm just going to click one time to make an anchor point. You can see the little line is stuck to my pen tool. I'm just going to go ahead and click right here to make another anchor point. Okay, we have our first challenge. It's a slight curve. So it's really just the armhole that's curved. The side of the shirt is not. So I'm going to put another anchor point here, but instead of just clicking, I'm going to do what's called clicking and dragging. And you can see my little preview blue line will be curved. So I want to try to match that line as best as I can, and I'm just going to release the mouse right now. Now, there's a handlebar that's controlling my curve. And it automatically gave me another handlebar, but I don't want that handlebar because now that handlebar, if you can kind of see, it's going to make my next line a little curvy, and I want my next line to just be straight. So I'm just going to go click right on top of the anchor point one time, and that handlebar went away, and I'm still connected to my drawing. Like it's still the same line. So I'm going to come straight down. It's a good idea to hold shift. That will force you to do a perfectly straight line. I'm going to click one time, making an anchor point. And you know what? I'm going to stop it right there, and I'm going to now copy and paste it. So to get out of this pen tool, I could just hit the letter V, which will take me to my black arrow up here. Great keyboard shortcut to learn if you don't already know it. Also, I'm noticing it's hard to see what I drew because I have a clear fill and a clear stroke. I don't mind. I'm going to leave the fill clear for right now, but I think I'm going to change the stroke color to something a little bit more easy to see. So, and okay, it looks like it's pink. I still kind of can't see it, so I'm going to go ahead and change my stroke width as well. I love when it pops up here automatically. A lot of times it'll just pop up at the Smart menu. I don't see it today. So I have to go up to window. I think that might be cut off on your screen. And I'm going to look, it's all alphabetical, which is nice. S for stroke. So I guess you just have to remember it's called a stroke. Okay, I'm just making it 3 for right now. I can always change it later. It's just easier for me to see. Okay, so I'm in my black arrow. I'm going up to the menu. I apologize, you can't see that. And we're going to say transform, and we're going to reflect. Okay, and down here, we can hit copy as well. Now, for some reason, it defaulted on mine to angle. I want to change it to be vertical, reflect, like left, right, and there's like a little preview right there. And I'm going to say copy because I want an extra one. Ooh, so what happened is my whole line wasn't selected. So I'm going to hit delete and try that again. So letter V, click. Okay, now the whole line is selected. Object, transform, reflect. Let's go to vertical. I don't know why it keeps defaulting on angle. And copy. Cool. So I want to move it over. But what I don't want to do is accidentally drop it a little because then they won't be perfectly aligned. I just don't trust my eyesight. So what I'm going to do is hold shift. And if I hold shift, it's going to stay perfectly aligned, just great. And then I'm going to let go of my mouse with my right hand. And then after I let go of my mouse, I will let go of the shift button that I was holding with my left hand. Okay, so now I want to connect these two pieces. So I'm going to hit the letter P for pen. Look for that anchor point. Do you see a slight slash line by the pen tool? If I move away, it's like a little asterisk mark. That means it's going to start a new line, but I want to connect the lines I already drew. So I really want that slash line. So make sure you notice it. There you go. It's changed to the slash line again. So I'm going to click one time. I can see that line is highlighted, so it worked. And I'm going to come down to the center bottom. I'm going to click and drag, and I'm holding out Shift to make sure it stays symmetrical. Now this time, I don't mind that it gave me that handlebar because it is a symmetrical curve, so it's going to come in handy. So all I have to do is just click one time. And do you see the symbol that just appeared under the little pen icon? It's like a little square with a line. That's telling me that it's going to connect it to another line that I drew, which is perfect. That's what I want. This is important to do because later I'm going to add a fill color, right? So with it all connected, the fill will work. I'm going to hit Command Z, and I'm just going to show you what it looks like without the fill color, right? So if I were to just draw it and not connect it, you have these weird open spots that your fill's not totally connecting. It's kind of weird to get used to. Okay, so anyways, I see that square. I know it's going to connect the two lines together, which is great. All I have to do, I'll just add the fill, is draw this bottom one. So because there's an opening at the bottom, it just connects the two open anchor points with a straight line. That's just default. You can kind of see if I like move it. See, the fill will always stop it as a straight line. I'm going to hit Edit Undo. But I want it to be curved slightly. So I'm going to hit the letter P. I'm going to grab that open anchor point. I'm going to come to the middle, click and drag. And then I like that handlebar there because it's going to give me the exact same curve shape as whatever I made on the left side. So all I have to do is hover over that open anchor point. Now this time it's not a square. Why is it a circle? It's doing the same thing. It's going to connect it, but it's connecting it to itself. So instead of connecting two separate pieces, it's just closing the one. So circle is a great sign to see. Click one time, voila, I did it. So there you go. That's how I trace that simple t-shirt. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for the sleeve, and I'm just going to draw one and just copy and paste it and reflect it. I've seen different methods. Some people will trace the sleeve and then like purposely draw it so it's kind of a funky shape and then just layer it underneath the body and you don't really see it because it can be really hard to try to draw exactly the sleeve length. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm hitting the letter P to go back to the keyboard shortcut of the pen tool. And I'll just click here, click the sleeve, click this arm opening, and then sometimes they're just like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to layer it. No one's going to see that part. Click the top shoulder, and then close it. And then so now if I take the, maybe I'll open up my layers for you guys so you can see. There's a lot of stuff on this file. Okay, here's my green shirt. I can just click and drag and move it up. And you see it's layered, so you don't even see that weird shape. So sometimes that's just a fast way to do things. Anyways, I do have another way that I prefer to do it. So it's maybe a little intermediate, but this is a great way to, and it's using the Pathfinder tool, I believe it's called. So I'm going to go to Window, Pathfinder. Yes, this is it. And this has a tool that it can combine shapes, unite them, I suppose, or divide them. So I'm just going to delete this and show you what I mean. So I'm going to hit P for the pen tool. And I will start in like right here on the corner, and then I'll go straight down, click, click, and click. Now, for the dividing tool to work, you do have to cross over different objects. So that's why I didn't stop right on the line. I purposely made it cross over a little bit. I'm going to hit the letter A. A brings me to the direct selection tool. I'm going to hit Z to zoom in. Spacebar to pan. Letter A. Okay, so right now this anchor point, he's not really crossing over, so this tool that I want to use might not work. So to make sure it works, if I hit the letter P, I'm going to grab that anchor point. Do you see the slash line? That means it'll connect. Click once and just draw a line right here. That way I just know it's connecting. I'm going to change the color of this fill just so it's kind of more clear what we're dealing with. I'm going to hit the letter A. So you can see there's, again, that straight line between two open points. Okay, again, we don't like this shape, but I do like the blue line that you see when I hover over the body, green shirt. I wish that blue line was applied to this blue shape. So in order to do that, I'm going to select both pieces. So I just switched to the black arrow. I had hit the letter V for the black arrow. I'm going to hold Shift and also click the sleeve. So now both objects are selected. You can see there's like a little blue dot to show you that both objects are selected at the same time. And then I'm going to go down to Pathfinders. I'm going to click Divide. Just click it one time. Cool. Okay, so what did it do? It basically like chopped up all the pieces and I think it basically, we have like a third piece now. I can hit this little arrow. Yeah. So now we have 3 shapes instead of 2. And it also grouped them together. So if you're not familiar with grouping, that can be a little confusing. So to ungroup, you can go Object, Ungroup, or you can just double click, and it temporarily ungroups stuff. So here we are. So we have 3 shapes. I don't want 3 shapes. I only want 2. So the sleeve is exactly the way I want it. So I'm super happy with that. But I kind of messed up my shirt. So all I have to do is unite these 2 pieces and I'll be good. So I'll just choose this kind of bad part of the sleeve, hold Shift and grab my shirt. They're both selected, just those 2 pieces you can see on the layers thing. And then now I'm going to go to Unite and click that. And let's just change the color just to make sure we're all good. There we are. Yeah, so now I have, I'm going to double click to get out of that group thing. Okay, and it did group it together. I mean, I think I don't really need it grouped. I'm going to say Command-Shift-G to ungroup it, or I could have gone to Object, Group, Ungroup. Anyways, if I click the sleeve, you can see it really lines up perfectly to the shirt, so that's just what I want. Now, if I zoom in, I'm like, what's up with that point? Okay, I think for me, the 2 points, they're exactly on top of each other, which is kind of precise and perfect. So instead of like trying to move my point to make it, not do that, I'm just going to change the shape of the stroke. So I need to find my stroke palette. Did it go away? I'm going to go up to Window and Stroke. There we are. And I'm going to change the corner cap. Why don't I try the round one? Yeah, round's pretty good. They also have one where it's just totally cut off. I think I'll leave round. And maybe I'll do the same to the shirt as well. Make that one round as well. So there we go. It's all nice and cleaned up. I didn't have to move my anchor points. They're both precisely in the exact spot, which is fine by me. Okay, so I'm going to hit Command-0 to zoom out. I'm going to hit Z to zoom back in. I'm going to hit the space bar to pan, maybe Command-negative a couple times. Okay, so I have this sleeve. I'm happy with it. Command-C to copy. And then what I'm going to do this time, I know it's different. Last time I went to Object, Transform, Reflect. But this time I'm going to say Command-F. And that will paste it directly on top of itself. Oops, grab it. And I can hold Shift and move it. And then once it's over here, I can say Object, Transform, Reflect. And this time maybe just say OK, click vertical. Because I don't need to copy it because I already copied it. Okay, and just put it in the right spot. That seems to be good. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Now we just have to do the neck tape. So the neck tape, you can do the same thing method that I use to draw the sleeves. That will totally work whether you just draw it and have a weird funky shape and layer it the right way, or you draw it and then use the Pathfinder tool to kind of clean it up. But I'm going to try a new method because why not? It's all about learning. I'm going to hit the letter P and show you guys a new trick. I want to make sure nothing's selected. I'm going to get rid of the fill color, make it clear. I'm going to pick a stroke color, maybe like something like blue, just to make it different. Okay, so I'm going to hit the letter P for a pen tool, and I want one anchor point at the start, and then I'm going one at the middle, the bottom, and I'm going to click and drag and hold Shift and just try to get the right angle. I'm kind of drawing a line right in the middle of it. And then my last one, because there is an anchor point or a handlebar already there, all I have to do is just click one time. I don't have to click and drag again. So that's kind of nice. So click. I can zoom in and spend a little time getting it perfect. Maybe it is off a little bit. You can play around with that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the stroke thicker. So we're at a 3. I'm going to click up. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe 8 or 9, maybe 10. I'll just do 10. Okay, cool. So now I kind of wish that was my piece. But it is my piece, but it doesn't have a fill color. Like I kind of wish it was like this green shirt where it had a pink outline and a green fill. But all it is a really big outline. So to change it, I can go, I make sure it's selected. Let me grab it. Object, okay, expand. Am I doing this right? I kind of forget. Let me see here, expand. Oh wait, is it edit? Da, 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 da. It might be expand, hold on. I don't do this all the time. It might take me a minute. I think it's expand. Let's find out. Expand. Okay. Yeah, fill and stroke. Oh, you know what it is? I'm looking for outline stroke. That's the tool I'm looking for. Let's see if this works though. It actually did work, but there was a tool. Let's see if I can find it. Object. Outline stroke was the tool I used to use. I don't know if it's gone. Maybe it's just one of those things that's gone. Let me see. Oh, it's right here. It's under path. Okay, so there's two ways to do it. You could do expand, which is what I did. And then I can get my eyedropper tool and, match one of the other pieces. So now it has a pink outline and a purple fill. I'm going to hit Command Z a couple times. So now it's back to this stroke and no fill. The other way I was looking for, besides expand, was if you select path, there's a thing that says outline stroke. It's literally exactly the same thing as expand, but I don't know. I just wanted to bring both to your attention. Okay, cool. So now we have a stroke. Now the stroke right here is 3 and it has the purple fill. Great. Okay, so probably what I would have liked to do before expanding it is draw the back one. So I'm going to hit Command Z. I want to get my stroke back. So now I just have a 10-point stroke, no fill. And I'm going to copy this guy. Copy. I'm going to paste. I'm going to hit Command F so it pastes it exactly on top of it, okay? Then I'm going to hit the letter A to get the white arrow, and I just click this one anchor point, and I just move the one anchor point. Maybe I should change colors just to make things a little easier to see. There we are. Okay, cool. So now what's great about this is that these two anchor points are perfectly aligned. They meet at the high point shoulder point, which is great. And then I think all I want to do is maybe bring the blue one in front. So I'm going to hit Command X is a way to delete something and copy it. And then Command F is a great way to paste it in the same spot that you copied it. It's better than Command V. Command V will paste it just in the center of your screen, but Command F just right where you grabbed it, which is great. So I'm going to hold Shift, grab the back guy, Object, Expand, or Path, Outline Stroke. Either one seems to work. And then now I'll just hit the letter I to eyedrop it. So, okay, and then of course we can also go in and clean up here, like, is this too high after all? Maybe I will bring that back down. Oh, I don't really need that anchor point. So I can hit P negative and just get rid of it. Maybe I hit P negative again and then hit letter A and yeah, just move it. There we are, that's better. Let's check out this side. Okay, oops, it was close. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. So that's how I draw. I'm just drawing the shirt right now. This is just what I want you guys to do just to get some more practice with the pen tool. Just want to make sure you're kind of familiar with it. I also am expecting you to trace these lines as well. Again, for more just practice controlling the pen tool. So you'll just go click, click and drag, click, click and drag. We've done this in our other class, so hopefully this will be coming back to you about how to do it. And again, don't forget, if you ever mess up on something, there's always the white arrow. You can always zoom in. You can pan with your space bar, get the white arrow with the letter A, and just move it where it needs to be moved. You don't always have to restart from scratch if something didn't turn out the way that you like it. That's the beauty of the computer versus doing something by hand. If you mess up, your eraser might not really work. So yeah, this is your assignment. And let me know how it goes and if you need some more help with Illustrator or not.